We're once again joined by Michele Siekerka, President and CEO, New Jersey Business and Industry Association. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well, Steve.
Okay, so we're taping on the 20th of May, being seen later. There's a hiring crisis, help wanted signs all over the place. You've said there's a perfect storm that has created this situation. Describe that storm.
Yeah, well, the perfect storm is we have a federal unemployment insurance program that is right now paying a premium that competes with entry-level wages. Add to that, we have child care facilities not at 100% capacity here in the state of New Jersey, meaning if we can't get our kids in safe places, we can't get our parents back to work. Add to that the J-1 visa crisis we have for our tourism industry. And what we have is a hiring crisis that is just unprecedented here in New Jersey.
So, devil's advocate, what do you say to those, including Governor Murphy, who has said, and others, it's not the unemployment compensation issue that needed to be done. We needed to protect people who had lost their jobs early on in the pandemic. Or I heard some people say in the administration and others, just pay them more. Pay them more. And so you could compete more with unemployment benefits, you say?
Well, first of all, absolutely. The unemployment program was significantly important for, hundreds of thousands of people over the last year. And let me be clear, those that still need to be on unemployment because they can't get back to work, the safety net must be there. We're not saying take their safety net away. The issue is we have tens of thousands of people who are, quote unquote, available for work who are not showing up. All right, because of that benefit has something to do with it. It does. To those who say, hey, companies pay more, I'm talking about Main Street businesses that have been decimated over the last year. All right, they're lucky that they're still open. So what did we say? You know what, Governor? Number one, anyone who can pay more always does because they want to hire the best and the brightest. Number two, help them to pay more so they can get their legs back underneath them. And we could do that, right? Two things we can do, Steve. We can take.
I was going to ask you what we could do. You're ahead of me. Go ahead.
We can take that unemployment insurance money, right? And we can create a bonus or an incentive to get people back to work. So we could say, if you return to work tomorrow because you're available for employment, right, we will give you a bonus of, for example, other states are doing $500, $1,000, $1,500, as long as you continue to be employed through Labor Day. Gets us through the peak season, okay? So you're going to get that bonus, if you will, which means it's going to be an enhancement on your hourly income, which is going to drive an incentive for you to come back. We can also give our employers tax incentives if they're going to pay higher than minimum wage so that they offset their balance sheet and give them the ability to do that.
What response have you gotten from the Murphy administration regarding those ideas, initiatives, whatever you want to call them?
No response. No response.
What do you mean no response?
No response. Steve, we did in all fairness, okay, we did a town hall where we had businesses speak.
I know.
Over a week ago. Yes, okay. We have op-eds out. I've done more media requests on this issue than I can tell you.
I called you after the town meeting and I said, let's do this.
Right. We've had legislative leaders take up some of our issues. That childcare issue, this is an easy fix. All right. The reason why we have the childcare issue, number one, is because our childcare facilities are still at 50% capacity limits on their licenses. The only state in the nation that has that. Why are we not back up at 100% capacity for our childcare facilities? All right. And then help to bring that workforce back immediately. We can't get parents back to work if we don't get kids into safe environments. Okay. So these are easy fixes. No response. No response. We sent a formal letter to the governor. We're waiting for a meeting to be rescheduled. In all fairness to the front office, we're waiting for a meeting to be scheduled. Two things.
Number one, Michele Siekerka, and by the way, we're media partners and colleagues. We share information. We share content. Just to disclose that. But I want to say this. Number one, we have an initiative called Reimagine Childcare, which talks about affordable, accessible childcare. Our website will be up. Check that out. But here's the other thing about the governor. And we constantly are being asked, when people like Michele Siekerka or other legislators or other people talk about the administration, why have we not had Governor Murphy on? And so I need to just put this out there. Michele Siekerka says she's waiting for a response. We had gotten an initial response, I won't go into the weeds on this, months and months and months ago that the governor would join us. And he does a lot of media. He does. I don't really know why he hasn't had a conversation with us. We need to have that conversation. We're going to ask again and provide a dozen dates to get him because the governor is the only person who can answer for his administration. Don't ask me anymore. We keep asking.
Steve, we again, and with all due respect, we get acknowledgement. We received your letter. Thank you. And then we do follow up. Okay. We schedule a call and then the call gets adjourned. All right. We do follow up. I can't be any more outspoken on these issues right now on behalf of the business community. Our businesses can't be any more outspoken. We did a member alert to invite our members to send their concerns directly to the governor and the legislature. Okay. We had over 700 letters sent and over 1,000 to the assembly. I mean, people, some will say, that people are showing up, people are coming back, pay them more, et cetera. You know what people are doing? They're saying, I'll come in for an interview and they don't show up. Number one, we hear that. I hear that every day, examples of it. Number two, people are showing up and saying, pay me off the books so I can stay on unemployment. This is, and I am not, and please, I don't mean to generalize.
We're not advocating anyone pay under the table or off the books, abide by the law. But hold on, Michelle, we're taping on the 20th. What happens if the governor turns around and opens up in a way beyond, which he may likely do, in terms of the mask mandates inside? That's why we're dating ourselves. This will be seen after. What about if he does it? But what about if he says, I've only done what I've done with child care centers in terms of half capacity and all the other decisions because of the science and because of the safety? That's a legitimate argument.
Steve, you know what I say? All along, we followed CDC. We follow CDC for 15 months now. CDC says we don't need masks indoors and we don't need to social distance. New Jersey is only one of 2 states, Hawaii being the other.
As we do it now, but say in 2 weeks he changes it. Is it too late?
That's one part of it. Perfect storm. It's one thing to open everything up. It's another thing to have a workforce to now deliver the products and services. Do you know what I hear down the shore? Okay, I hear restaurants only staying open for delivery for the entire season because they don't have servers. I hear restaurants saying, we will only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday because I don't have a workforce for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is real. I'm not crying wolf here. I'm not making this up, Steve. You know me. I don't pontificate. We're always on research and data.
And by the way, the J-1 visa application issue is that's not an issue of the Murphy administration, though? Is that not a federal issue?
No, it's a much bigger issue. I mean, this is a national issue.
Just to be clear, that's not all on the administration.
No, it's not. But we've asked the governor to send a letter directly to President Biden saying how important this program is to the state of New Jersey, especially during tourism season. Our entire federal delegation signed on to a letter to President Biden. We're waiting patiently for the governor to send that letter.
Hey, Michelle, thank you. And again, we implore the governor's team, please allow him to come on so we can have this conversation. Yes, he has in other places. I know he wants to have it here. I'm confident of that. Michelle, I can't thank you enough. We appreciate your time. To you and all your members, all the best.
Steve, we're always here to be a good partner. We just want to get good things done. Let's get it done. Thanks, Steve.
We'll be right back right after this.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by HolyName Medical Center, Choose New Jersey, IBEW Local 102, the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagine Childcare, New Jersey Sharing Network, Summit Health, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters, Berkeley College, and by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by AM 970 The Answer, and by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ, part of the USA Today network.
New Jersey's early educators and childcare providers are more than twice as likely to live below the poverty line versus the general workforce. Reimagine Childcare, formed by a coalition in New Jersey, is dedicated to improving accessibility, affordability, and quality of childcare and reimagining the way we support these essential providers. Learn more by visiting reimaginechildcare.org.